Tell us a little bit about what happened here.
So about 7:50 p.m., officers were actually flagged down by an individual who claimed that their vehicle had just been stolen, and that they actually saw the vehicle driving around. And actually, the vehicle had been stolen 2 days prior. So upon checking the area, the officers located the vehicle. They began to observe somebody in the seat, and that person actually was armed with a rifle. An officer involved shooting did occur. Our officers immediately requested assistant units, which time they extracted the individual and performed by safety measures. Unfortunately, that individual did pass away.
And did that individual point the rifle at officers? What kind of conflict kind of transpired there?
Well, the details of that is actually under investigation, and our detectives here are on scene right now and looking into that.
Tell me a little bit about what we're seeing. Because we saw an armored vehicle, we saw a drone. What kind of things were used in this process?
Well, all these are tools to help in the investigation, and again, you do see an armored vehicle, and that was to assist with the extraction.
Within seconds, there was officer-involved shooting. The wounds on my nephew, when he came up, opened the door, shot him. They shot him in the stomach, right? And when he's saying stop, 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 he put his hand up. Stop, stop, stop. As he's grabbing his stomach, he got shot right here.
When Torrance PD finally released body cam video, it is an edited video that clearly shows Officer Concannon turns off his weapon attachment light and covers his body cam as he opens fire on. Investigators downplay this info and act as if it is not important. Even if Chris had a 35-inch AR-15, there is no way Chris could have drawn the weapon from this position. Concannon never gave Chris a chance to comply. 1 second later, he shot him.
Get out of the car!
I know a lot of you are going to say that Christopher should have complied with officers' demands, and the fact that he was sitting in a stolen car, he should have complied. Well, he wasn't even given a chance.
Sergeant Ronald Harris, Public Information Officer for the Torrance Police Department.
Hello, sir. Torrance.
It's an emergency. My car was stolen Friday, and I'm right behind the person that's in my car right now.
Okay, where are you at?
I'm located in Torrance. I'm right here on coming down Carson and Dinker.
Their vehicle was just stolen, and they were chasing the suspect vehicle, who was last seen approximately 30 seconds ago going westbound on 220 from Western, going northbound across the DMV. Stand by for a description of the vehicle. Vehicle is a 2000 Honda Civic, black, and one of the headlights is out. Also stolen from...
Video from the supermarket at 1770 Carson Street shows the stolen Civic entering the parking lot at 7:54 p.m. Just 3 minutes later, 2 other officers arrived and spotted the Civic parked on the east edge of the lot under a large tree. Officer 1 parked behind the Civic and approached from the driver's side. Officer 2 approached the passenger side.
What are you doing here, man? Don't move! Don't move!
I'm sorry,
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Like some of this went through and hit him right here in the chest, top part right here. So that's consistent with you laying back and it's going down like that. And he rolled over towards the door, towards the officer to protect himself, to shield himself. You know what I'm saying? And they shot him right here, 2 times right here. And he rolled back over this way towards that way. And then that's when they shot him in the back and in the back of the head. Then they ran back and called for backup.
Which they should have done that. That's the first thing they should have done before they even approached it.
But the first thing they should have did was call for backup. You're an officer, you see.
And the fire truck finally showed up. Fire truck wasn't there when we were there all that time.
No, it wasn't.
You got your light on because obviously you said that you seen a gun or a rifle, so you see where you shoot him at, where you shot him at, right? You see it as an officer. So you see that that's the top of the nerve system and that paralyzed the whole body. So when his legs went into a rest, as they said, his seat is laid back, you can't see the head, and his legs is at a rest. You hit him in the top of the nerve system. So this paralyzed everything. That's why his feet was up at a rest and his head was in between the seats, the council, it was laid over. You know what I'm saying? Because you shot him in the head, and now that right there. You know what I'm saying? So you went back, and then you caught the back up. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how all the other officers came. That's how I see it happen from the wounds that's on my nephew's body. You know, and I
So you went to the coroner's office to identify the body?
No,
they showed you pictures?
They didn't. But I seen them physically.
At what point did you see them?
I seen them after
the day before the funeral.
The day before the funeral, after they stitched him up. The day before the funeral, after they stitched him up. That's when I seen them. They right there. So that's how I see it happen. And for you to hear my nephew on the recording saying stop, 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 the other officer had to be somewhere nearby for his transmission for the radio chatter to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? He had to be within some feet.
I assumed he was in the car, but I guess he could have been out of the car, you know?
Or he could have been in the car and my nephew was loud. Stop, stop, stop. But as an officer, when you just shot somebody and they saying stop, 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 and this is a sign of trying to defend yourself. You hear him?
Yeah.
Stop, stop, stop. So that goes to tell me after the first shot, you had to shoot him somewhere where he can say stop, stop, stop. And if you came in on this side, the left hand, the right clavicle area, laid back. You're shooting from right here. They murdered my nephew, my sister's son, at 7:53 p.m. They didn't contact her until 5:20 something a.m. Then the next morning, then she asked to see her son. They just said, okay, well, do you know if he got a tattoo right here on his face? Yeah. What does it say? My name. Okay, that's your son. We didn't physically see my nephew until the day before the funeral, like a day, 2 days before the funeral. You know what I'm saying? So we going through the whole process without even seeing if that's really for sure that's our loved one. Just by a tattoo. It's a lot of people out here with the same name, right?
Yeah.
Then when we get here to the scene, we find a projectile with blood on it, and it kind of looks like brain matter on it, but we find a projectile.
You're talking about one of those 40, I think they shot him with those 40 millimeter plastic, whatever they are.
Look like a 45. The bullet looks like a 45. I have the bullet.
Okay, you're talking about, because you know, after he was dead, I think they shot him, then they shot him with some less lethal rounds after he was already dead.
So that explains the burn marks.
The last time that I'm aware of that the Torrance police had a call like, you know, I'm sorry, not like this exactly, but they had a call where maybe they had a reason to do a felony stop or to pay attention, and a situation where they should have not been derelicts, and they showed up and they murdered a guy. So when we heard this call come on the air tonight, Rick and I got here. We didn't waste no time. We came here immediately. At this point, the suspect is alive. At this point, all he did was run. You see the white car there? He ran, okay? That's it. People run sometimes because they want to get away. Sometimes they gotta pee. Sometimes maybe they didn't even know they were getting pulled over. It doesn't matter why. What matters is you don't get to kill somebody just because you feel like it. Just because maybe they didn't listen or maybe you don't like them. In the case of Christopher DeAndre Mitchell, a cooperative young man that the Torrance police didn't even know, there's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. And that's why we're here tonight, because these Torrance police are too stupid to make a decision when to use force and when to keep their fucking mouth shut, to keep their guns in the holster, keep their bullets where they belong, keep their Bearcat where it belongs. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the guy, whoever was running, especially if he was a person of color, which is probably not likely in this neighborhood, but if he is, and even if he's not, running from the Torrance police is completely justified. These fuckers will murder you for no reason. You know, though, there's no limit to every action that police take, whether it's writing tickets, arresting people, from the most irrelevant crime to the most serious crime. Torrance police will do all these things on innocent people just because they feel like it. Many times for no reason at all that you can think of or that you can identify. The way it looks right now, I'm gonna just guess this might last for a while. You know, the Torrance police would like to knock the walls down, and probably if they had missiles, I'm sure they would like to just drop them, you know, right into the roof. And I see them looking at me right now. Plenty of guys are looking at me and they're discussing amongst themselves that they're not here alone, that there's somebody here that's gonna tell the truth, even when they won't. So my opinion is I could probably go home right now and they wouldn't know that I did, and it would change everything. It would change their behavior. I'm trying to get a fucking live stream going, which my phone for some reason is not cooperating at all. See these kids that are leaving? I'm watching for whoever goes to their car first and disappears, because my opinion is that'll be whoever it was that killed Christopher DeAndre Mitchell. It'll be the guys that get the fuck out of Dodge when they see me here. Okay, so they just went inside, it looks like. There's no need to kill anybody. Nobody's trying to hurt the Torrance police. Nobody, in my 50 years in the city of Torrance, never once have I seen somebody try to hurt the Torrance police. I've seen them hurt many people. I've seen them destroy many lives. I've seen them murder people. Never once have I seen anybody try to hurt anybody for the Torrance Police Department. Not one of their parking enforcement officers, not one of their security guards at the courthouse, not one of their garbage men. I have met plenty of people from the city of Torrance that need to have their ass kicked, but never once have I seen any of them receive the justice that they deserve. And I know the Torrance police, they know how to do the job right if they want to. In every circumstance, they know how to do the job right if they want to, if they choose to. The problem is with these fuckers is many times they choose to do it wrong because that's what they feel like doing, because that's what they want to do, because there's never a consequence. It's always the victim's fault, except for when they're the victim. And of course, they're always the victim. If they break a toenail, it's never their fault. I wish I could say that I didn't like the Torrance police or any fucking department for that matter. I care about everybody, so it's not easy for me to dislike or have hard feelings for these cops or any other cops or any other, it doesn't matter, any person really. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily go both ways. I don't hear anybody crying, Rick. I don't hear any indication that anyone's being hurt in there. I see them going around from room to room. As far as I can tell, they haven't hurt anybody. Obviously, the guy's scared of the police. He fled to his home. He may have easily went into his home. That don't mean he stayed there. If this person lives here, if they grew up here, I could tell you if it was my home, I would know every route out the backside, through my neighbors' homes, and to wherever I needed to be, to where they wouldn't get me until I felt like turning myself in, or whatever the case may be. So I have no idea who their suspect is. But if he's familiar with the neighborhood, it doesn't matter that he lives here. He's probably not in there unless he wants to be. And I don't see anybody coming out, so think about it. You're not going to run from the police, go in and shut the door and think they're not going to find you. Just as easy as he went in the front door, he could have come out the back. Looks like that's the only person that was in the house, huh? Did they get? I don't know. Huh? I don't see anybody.
Say his name! Christopher DeAndre Mitchell!
Do it again.
We won't. Say his name! Christopher DeAndre Mitchell! Murdered by Torrance Police Department. Say his name! Christopher DeAndre Mitchell! Murdered by the Torrance Police Department.
I don't think there's anything else here to see. They've already cleared the house. They already got the guy in custody. They're standing around getting their story straight. Liberty Walk, yes, Torrance, California.
All right.
As you see written on the side of the police car. I don't think there's anything else here, folks. It's a good job nobody got killed tonight.
This video is dedicated to the victims and extended victims of police violence, police brutality, and those that have lost their lives and suffered at the hands of law enforcement agencies across the United States. We have a huge police problem where we often see police officers overreacting and usually having strong emotional reactions, especially anger when criticized or confronted. And we often, too often, see police using anger to control others. Just know that we are all standing strong in the face of injustice. Injustice to one is an injustice to all.